I want to hear from you how you felt about your running and the marathon before you started coaching with me.
Yeah, I think when like it's something that I watched every year. I watched it on TV, sat on the sofa, eating toast, like probably everybody else. And I just thought, I never thought I'd actually be capable of doing it. And obviously, a year and a bit ago we did, or a year ago, I think we did the Leeds half. And then obviously I get, I was put in touch with you, Mike, and I just thought it was probably a step too far for, I was going into it, but. Yeah, I think it was just quite daunting to be honest.
Yeah.
So up to that point I hadn't really done much running to be honest.
What was your experience like of running that half?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think up to the half again I had loads of injuries. So I followed like a training plan. I think it was just one from an app. But I just had literally injuries. So I started off running and I must have had about a dozen physio appointments between starting.
Mm,
And the thing I had long periods, maybe 2 or 3 week periods in that bit of training where I was injured, sort of mostly calf trouble, and
mm.
I got some knee pain as well. And I pulled my calf about a week before the half marathon,
My God.
and then got set off in the half marathon. 50 yards in, my calf went, and that was it. But yeah, and then just so I managed to get round.
When did you actually sign up to the marathon?
Literally as soon as the ballot opened, and I think it was round the not far after the end of the half because I thought of at that point, I'd done the miles, started to enjoy running, started to feel a bit fitter,
Yeah.
feel a bit healthier. So I thought I need to do, if I don't sign up for something, I won't carry on because it's kind of wired. So joined the ballot and then I also signed up for some charity places. Um, yeah, and then we got accepted through NSPCC. It was good, but then you think, oh, here we go. Now we're really doing this.
What were you worrying about before you started the training?
Yeah, I think I think of the injuries, Mike. It was that really. It was like even though the half I had, calf trouble from day one. Um, and I just thought actually the most important thing really was to get to the start line with no injuries,
Mm,
or at least, as at least as few as possible or minor injuries, and that'd be okay.
yeah.
That was the biggest fear because I thought I know if I was injury free, I'd stick to the program. I knew I'd do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go through 16 to 20 weeks of training and then turn up at the start line injured, not be able to do it. So
Yeah.
that was the biggest fear, even up to a few days before it.
Mm,
Like I was watching myself going upstairs, I was watching myself step off a curb. I was doing everything I could not to get injured, even the
exactly.
suitcase
Exactly.
carrying into the hotel. I was taking it at a snail's pace just so I didn't pull anything. It was ridiculous, but yeah.
How did you approach being coached by me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm all up for coaching anything, to be honest. I think it's, you know, yeah, I've coaches lots of other bits and, professional stuff. I've had PTs before. I've had, coaching and web tried, we played a bit of golf and a bit. So I'm all up for this. It's the why go through that learning curve on your own? Why not shortcut it as
Mm.
much as you can? So yeah, so I'm all up for that, to be honest.
What was your experience in those first couple of weeks of being coached and guided?
Yeah, I think the first assessment, Mike, I didn't realize how complicated running was. Something that I thought was just a case of putting one foot in front of the other. I didn't
Okay.
realize things about posture,
Yeah.
about breathing,
Mm.
about arm positions,
Yeah.
about head positions,
Yeah. Yeah.
about cadence, all that stuff. And I'll be honest, even at the back end of the marathon, when I was really, really tired, I started to take smaller steps and speed up the cadence because I found that to be more efficient. And it's that stuff that, that's the stuff that you don't get, and I suppose off an app where you don't get all those things. It's just all those little bits because it's a sum of 100 little bits that
Mm.
get you through it.
What
Yeah.
would you say was your biggest win or result or accomplishment from the coaching?
Yeah, I think it was just getting through the long miles. I think it is that the biggest thing was actually like it was just getting through each run. So like literally it would go right, what's on this week? Get that over and done with, get that done. And I think the biggest was relief was the very last long run. Finishing that, I thought, right, that's because when you look at the plan and then you look further ahead, and you go, it's 8 mile, then it's 10 mile, then it's 12 mile. Then towards the end, you're looking at it's 20 miles. And you're going, I'm ever going to get to that. So huge relief
Yeah.
actually getting to, even to the taper. The taper, like the taper's, you're easing off, but the last long run of the taper is still 11 miles.
Mm.
So actually, when I finished that 11 miles, I get a little video clip for myself just to say, that's it, well done. So to be honest, I think that was the biggest achievement. Getting through the run was fantastic, but finishing the training and finish the training without any injuries,
Mm.
that for me was a big one to actually go through it because it's your main focus for 16, 20 weeks,
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually get that point, and you do breathe a sigh of relief that it's done. You bank the miles, and then all the paranoia starts.
The
You have 2 weeks of
paranoia.
just yeah,
Yeah.
paranoia starts. You start telling yourself how unfit you are, and tell yourself you should be in better shape, and tell yourself that everything hurts. And that's a very real thing, you
Yeah.
know.
What was it like crossing the finish line? Like, did
Yeah,
you
it
did you
it
get the photos? Um,
yeah, I got the photos are incredible, yeah, but it's you get to the end, like it's the last few miles are just go on forever and ever.
yeah.
And you come under the first arch, and then in my head I thought, is that the finish? And then I got to it and I realized that wasn't the finish. And then you go around, you turn around to the right, and then there's another arch over,
Mm.
and you think, is that the finish? And then it says 385 yards to go, and it's the longest 385 yards ever. And then you turn another corner, and then you can see it, and
Yeah.
it's like it's moving away from you. And I got over. I was glad to pass the finish line
Yeah.
and all, but yeah. But one of the tips I got was not to look at your watch going over the finish line. So I just held my arms
Yeah.
out like a you
Brilliant.
know
Brilliant.
celebration. So yeah, and yeah, it was funny. My family in Ireland on the BBC iPlayer, you could watch the finish line. So
Yes.
they've actually got a picture of me finishing on BBC One
Yes.
iPlayer.
I want to see that picture.
Yeah, I'll
Great.
send it over to you. But
Great.
yeah,
Great.
it's not very athletic. I'll be honest. But I got over anyway. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's been on my bucket list for a while, so
Yes.
I just
And
I just
like,
waited till I was 50 before I started.
but it's never too late unless you think it so. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you've proven to yourself that you can take on a challenge like that and see it through. If you were to recommend my coaching for preparation for something like a marathon, one, would you? And two, what would you say?
yeah. No, 100% recommended. Like it's fantastic. It's just like I've sent you outside of the app. I've sent you about 100 messages and what to do because it's yeah, it's a physical challenge, but it's a mental one as well.
Hmm.
Like in the last few weeks, once you're thinking you're thinking why I've done all this training, why I should be fitter than I am, I should feel better than I am. And there's lots of things, even the kit setup, like the shoes. I started with shoes that were a size too small for me. I'd never have changed those shoes.
Hmm.
Like I only lost two toenails. I wouldn't have had any had I run with those shoes. But there's just all those small things, isn't it? It's even from the types of running shorts, the types of just all those little bits because it is about all those little bits. You know, it's way more complicated than I thought it would be because you need lots of like hydration. The types. Even the gels. I took the gels way more frequent than I would have done,
Hmm.
but I'm glad I did because
Yeah.
it wouldn't have got me through.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just all those things there. It's all those little things that make up the difference.
So if you were to sum up the coaching, what in one word, what did it give you?
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it's confidence and reassurance. They're the two things, and
Okay.
it's actually even the taper. Like I at the back end of the taper, I thought this is tough. This taper shouldn't be that tough, but actually I realize now why it was. Because it's just trust the plan, stick
Yeah.
to the plan, and trust the plan. But it was all those things make a big difference. And like and the fair, yeah, I suppose the time is sort of a run on Sunday, but that was as fast as physically I could go. It was as good as a result as I could have managed. So I didn't leave anything out there, and everything went of I've survived. Nothing's broken. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Touch wood.
actually really surprised, silly so far. I'm
Yeah.
really surprised that everything, I'm able to walk and stuff. So,
Yeah.
what it is, it's all those things, Mike. And like I said, I really appreciate your help. It's been fantastic.
What, if anything, is there that you think people should know about coaching with me?
Yeah, I just think I think the the marathon is such a challenge. Like it's crazy to think, you think, well, it's only even see you can run a half marathon. You think, well, it's only that twice, but it's not that twice. It's like running three half marathons back to back. Even if you can run 20 miles, you don't
Yeah.
realize how hard those last few miles are.
Yeah.
And I think you need coaching. Like you do need that and all that support. Like that, all those little bits. I can't tell you, like I bet you that if I took time to write them all down, there's probably 50 bits of advice from your mantra,
Yeah.
from from the keeping the same kit all through training. I tried the kit out 4 or 5 times before I ran in it.
Yeah.
Even getting used to how taking the drink on. There's so many things. They all make a massive difference.
Yeah.
When they're compounded, they make such a big difference. So I think that's it. Is if if you're going to do that, you need to be prepared. Like there are lots of people that were out, of course, on Sunday were fainted, and they'd fainted that, and it's if you it's not something to take lightly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be prepared, and all the tips, all the advice, take it on board and do something with it,
Okay.
because it does make a difference. You might think actually, well, no, it might make a small bit of difference, but it can be the difference between you finishing and not finishing.
Mm.
And if you train for 4 months or 5 months, and you know, and you've got yourself to London and you've done all that, and why take the risk?
Yeah.
Why take the risk with it?
Yeah. Fabulous. Yeah, that's a hell of a success story for you, Declan. And I'm, yeah, again, just super proud of what you achieved.